So, I recently made a video diving into 3 characters that have been rumored to be in Scream 5 since pretty much the inception. I even went as far as to break down each character, explain where the rumor originated from, and rank them based on the likelihood I thought they could appear in the upcoming film. I'll even link the video down in the description so you could check it out after this one. And though I think all 3 are more fan theories and wants, a comment on that video from a subscriber named Jim Reed really got my mind going in regards to Kirby. And I'll even read his comment as followed. If they bring Kirby back, it would have to be at the end of the film. Like, she's the one who comes back to her hometown to figure out the vicious attacks. We all think Sid or the older Carpenter sister is the one coming back to investigate the vicious attacks. And so this immediately got my mind racing as far as Kirby and what character development and direction they could do with her in the upcoming Scream 5. And though I think it's highly unlikely that Kirby would return in the upcoming film, I love these types of theories and I really enjoy diving into different ideas. So let's dive into Kirby and what direction and story that they could create to justify her return to the Scream franchise. But before we get started, be sure to like the video, it helps me out a lot and lets me know that you enjoy these types of videos. And subscribe to the channel, followed by the bell notification so you never miss an upload. And leave a comment and let me know what you think, because who knows, maybe that comment will be the inspiration for my next video. So, towards the end of Scream 4, we got to see Kirby's potential death. And the reason I say potential is because we didn't get to see her full demise. And it was sort of left to the viewer's speculation of whether she died or not. And of course, she amassed a huge following and was extremely beloved by many fans. And many have speculated and rumors have swirled that she lived and survived and carried on. And even Wes kind of teased, that he left that deliberately for the fans to kind of speculate on. And so if she was able to survive that attack, what could have happened to her character? We know in the upcoming Scream 5 that there is going to be a hiatus, about a 10 to 11 year hiatus, that will be covered in this film. So, what happened in between that 10 years? Let's begin to paint this picture. So, assuming she survived, went to the hospital, everything was okay, she found out the end result of what happened, she always had the intention of leaving Woodsboro. So I would assume that Kirby would have left Woodsboro by now. Perhaps she got into a career in reporting, as Gail was a sort of idol to her, and Sydney she followed. I mean, she was starstruck the first time she met Sydney. So maybe what happened to her and the influence of Gail and Sid pushed her into a life of reporting or investigating. I mean, she was a part of this legendary Woodsboro massacre now. And with the end result of Scream 4, you had all the media coverage and everything like that. Maybe Jill's death was sort of kept a secret. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe Kirby decided to take her darkness and take the incident that happened to her and help other people. So we fast forward to her moving out of Woodsboro, continuing her life and getting into a career in reporting or some sort of investigation, whether it's law enforcement or personal investigation. Well, what they could do is they could take Kirby and show us her in whatever place she is at, and she hears about some killings in Woodsboro. And that is what draws her in, because she has such a tie and such a connection. And assuming there hasn't been any massacres since Scream 4, seeing that on the news or the internet or whatever would obviously draw her in, especially if she was a reporter or, an investigator. She would want to see and dig into what is happening in Woodsboro, almost like a modern day Gail. Assuming Gail, as speculated, she kind of leaves the reporting end. Even in Scream 4, she kind of she wasn't a reporter anymore. She was trying to write other stuff and create her own fictional universe, but she just had writer's block and had a hard time. So maybe Kirby comes, and maybe we'd even get a Gail and Kirby dynamic where they team up together to solve these Woodsboro crimes and getting information from Dewey and the others. Because it would make so much sense that obviously Gail would want to be involved, and Gail's excitement to pursue and solve these crimes as she's done in the previous films, and Kirby coming to town and reuniting with Gail as another reporter and investigator. I think it would be a really cool dynamic to see and develop on screen. And we know that Sydney is supposed to be isolated too, so you could still have the explanation. Like, this massacre in Woodsboro again sort of draws all the old characters from previous films back to Woodsboro, because something has to draw out, Sydney. If Kirby was still alive, chances are she wouldn't be in Woodsboro. Something has to draw her in. Maybe it's the rumors and speculations of Dewey's death. Maybe Dewey dies, and that draws Sid and it draws Kirby into town, and they all sort of team up, and we get this girl dynamic. Maybe all three are a part of it to avenge and solve the crime in honor of Dewey. Again, great dynamic, great story, and it'd be really cool to see Kirby and her character being an investigator and being a reporter. She had that sort of like, like that cutthroat attitude. She had that charisma and just she I think she would have made an incredible investigator, an incredible reporter. And she has these ties to Woodsboro, surviving the incidents, and she's sort of developing along. Now, whether they decide to kill her in Scream 5 fully or they let her live, you could go either way with that. I mean, it would make a lot of sense that maybe they'd put an end, given the direction in which these filmmakers want to create a new legacy and a new type of Scream. It's very likely that they're going to slowly start offing the older generations and the older casts. So we could see Kirby return as a reporter, as an investigator, and then maybe towards the end of the film she gets too close and finds out who it is or something, but she is killed before she could say anything, and now Gail and Sid are left to kind of piece this together. Maybe Kirby even left some clues and stuff behind, and that is what sort of helps solve the Woodsboro crimes and killing spree that is going on in Scream 5. I think that would be a really cool way to incorporate Kirby into the upcoming film if they were to bring her back. You could explain her living, yeah, she got stabbed, but look at Dewey. Dewey has gotten stabbed in pretty much every film, taken just a beating in pretty much every film, and somehow managed to survive. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility Kirby survived the onslaught that she encountered in Scream 4, but I think it's unlikely that even if she did, she would return. If you do bring her back for Scream 5, you have to have an explanation. There has to be some reason. You can't just plug her in and not really explain how she got there, how her survival happened. Where if you had this, explanation, maybe she's even talking to her husband and she has a family and she's discussing with them, the incidents because she's seeing on the news what happened in Woodsboro, and she's having flashbacks. There's supposed to be flashback scenes and sequences in the upcoming Scream. Maybe she is part of that. Maybe she's having flashbacks to her survival and how she was able to survive. And now she's really tied in to everything that's going on. And they're not opposed, clearly, to bringing old characters from previous Scream films, because we're supposed to get Martha Meeks and we're supposed to get Joel, who were characters in Scream 3 and Scream 2. So why not bring a character outside of Judy, because we are getting Judy Hicks in the upcoming Scream from Scream 4. So, but why not incorporate Kirby as well into this film? Now you have an explanation. Now you have a story. Now you have a dynamic that you can create. And it would be super awesome and super entertaining. And like I said, the development on Scream would be amazing. Or at least that's what I think. But as always, this is a conversation, so let me know your opinion and join the discussion down below in the comments. Do you want to see Kirby back? Do you like this theory and idea? Or do you have another one? What kind of direction would you want to see them develop Kirby further if she was to return in a Scream 5? Either way, let your opinion be known. If you think she should just stay away and let dead be dead, or should they continue her legacy in the upcoming Scream? Like this video if you haven't already. It lets me know that you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel, followed by the bell notifications. And once again, thank you, Jim Reed. I appreciate you for the inspiration for this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.